Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching Financial Markets. My name is Anthony, your host, and we are live at Smart 24 TV, plot 42 Nile Avenue, Kampala. From where we hail to drive business. Remember, this is the #1 business show when it comes to investment in the financial markets. And we give you information from experts who are in the market, players, and of course, other participants within the market. Remember to follow us on X at Smart 24 TV now. Leave us a comment on YouTube, and we'll be able to give you feedback as when we receive that comment. With Mr. Bateme David Calvin from Crested Capital, one of the leading stockbrokers in Uganda. When it comes to stock market trading, bond market, or fixed incomes, they are the go-to people. And we are discussing the current trends and in the market and market activity at the moment. Mr. David, when you look at the companies that are listed, some of the highlights that are in the market currently include Airtel Uganda issuing an interim dividend recently, as well as Umeme and Stanbic Bank Uganda. Let's start with Airtel Uganda. What is in for the shareholders this time around, and why is it so important for this interim dividend?
Okay. For those who got a chance to read the prospectus of Airtel quite well, there was a dividend policy, and Airtel gives out dividends every quarter. So meaning that every 3 months you get a dividend from Airtel Uganda. And they have given out a dividend of 2.15 shillings per share. Yes, that's, and you asked why is it important? This is the return to the shareholder. It is your money, because your company has made it has made money, so they are sharing that money with you as promised. And if you read our email, it was saying fulfilling promises. Yeah. So we shall always hold them accountable. If they told us that they are giving a dividend every quarter, are they delivering that dividend? And for the past quarter since listing last year, they have delivered every quarter. Yes.
There's something in the prospectus which was talking about the bond yield, rather the yield, the dividend yield of 90%.
Yes.
What was the implication of that? Are they following up on that?
Yeah, they said they'll give out up to, I think, 95% of their dividends in profitability. So that 95% comes out as a total dividend the entire year. Yeah, how much?
Not quarterly.
Not quarterly. They may not give, because during that they have to make business. So at the end of the day, when they close their books, they must have given you 95% of whatever they have made in the entire year.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes. That's 95% of the shareholder.
Yes, because they are not into building a lot of reserves, because the idea they want this money to work. So if that money is not being used, the money has to be given to the owners of the business. Yeah. Yes, who are the shareholders. Yes.
Then when you compare the two, MTN and Airtel, at the moment, we are seeing Airtel's price, for example, has been dropping. Yes. On the other hand, MTN has been a little bit more resilient at 170 shillings.
Yes. Most 177. Yes.
177 now.
Yes.
Is there anything to worry about the capital gains, or it's now entirely about dividends?
For the past, I could say that for the past 5 years, the stock market has been one that is dividend driven. Yes, they are dividend counters. So, and you know, I as a buyer, I wouldn't like to buy expensive. Yeah, if there's room for me to buy you cheaply, I'll buy you cheaply, and that will affect the stock price by it going down. But ideally, if you look at the two businesses, as I said in the beginning, you buy a business because the businesses themselves are improving; they're not going down. So, as an advisor, I wouldn't have any worry in the price of Airtel going down. Although if you are selling now, you are going to sell it at a little less than you bought it at, but you can always average out, because there's a concept. Most people call it a crazy concept, but that's the market. You average out. If you bought high, come back and buy low. That your average price also goes down. That when you come back to sell,
you're somewhere above the average.
You're above average of what you have invested in, the price you bought at. So it is a concept investors should look into it, averaging out every time they buy into the stock market anywhere in the world. Yes.
Let's talk about DFCU Bank.
Yes.
DFCU also issued their unaudited interim results. And when you look at the first half of 2024, there was a significant drop, or boost rather, in profitability. And the company also made advancements of about 6.91 billion and an improvement from a negative 50.08 billion. Any comments for that, DFCU?
Because profitability, yeah, half year on half year, because last half year they made about 29 billion and currently they made 42.
Yeah.
That is very, 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 very good performance for a bank like DFCU, and we expect DFCU to do much better than that, because the peers looking at the full year results, Stanbic made way more than that, about 200 billion. Bank of Baroda is making about 100. So they should also be in that space for them to be really attractive to buy into. DFCU, it was on their impairment, the impairment that greatly improved from about 50 billion to 6. That's what was affecting their book entirely, and the impairments have been a pinch to them for a couple of years, but now I think management has figured it out and the impairments are going down. So their loan book is quite improving, and since it is bank business, if the loan book is improving, then we expect better results at the end of the period. Yes.
There was the new regulation from Bank of Uganda.
Yes.
Concerning the minimum capital requirements.
Yes.
For all the commercial banks. And we've seen so many commercial banks closed, the recent one, EFC, and a couple of others which even closed before they were closed by Bank of Uganda.
Yes.
Isn't this going to affect some of these listings? Because I'm seeing Bank of Baroda last year got us some bonus, a bonus issue there to just push up their minimum capital.
Yes. And
I don't know about DFCU at the moment, but isn't this going to affect some of these commercial banks or that are listed on the market?
One thing I like to tell people that once the company goes public, that's no small company. So issues of capitalization may never arise. And you see, as you see, we've seen in the last 4 years, we've seen 2 bonus issues happen just for capitalization purposes. As I said, you know, when a company issues dividends, now it gets profitability. Part of it is given out in dividends, and the rest is pushed into reserves. And banks like Stanbic, Baroda, DFCU have been accumulating these reserves, equity on their equity statements. And one way of using that money is giving it back to the shareholders. And the way to the book entry there, just do a bonus issue like the Bank of Baroda did. Remember, what most people don't understand here, that we have 3 financial institutions on the bourse. That is Stanbic Holdings, DFC Limited, and Bank of Baroda Uganda. And if you realize, there's only one listed bank. Yes, that is Bank of Uganda, Bank of Baroda Uganda. That's the only listed bank. Stanbic Bank is not listed. It's the holding company that's listed. So for Stanbic, it was a book entry. It was an accounting entry for them. They did. So we could have had 3 bonus issues if they opted for that option to raise the minimum capitalization to 150 billion from the 25. It was a big leap from 25 to 150. It's a big leap from the central bank. Maybe they're the regulator, so I can't have anything to say about that. But you see, these banks are well capitalized. Don't even have any skepticism about them. They are very well. Actually, most of them are above. Apart from Baroda, that is actually at 150. The other 2, I think, are above the 150.
That was as a result of their bonus issue.
Yes, because Bank Baroda just had to do the bonus and they are well capitalized. Yes.
Amazing. Let's talk about Stanbic. Stanbic Bank Uganda. One of right now, I think the biggest in terms of the gains they have had on the market, but also they had an interim dividend of 2.73 shillings issued, and for the 6 months, Bank of Baroda also had a 17.64% increase in profitability. I think that has been the trend for quite some time.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Is this good enough for a company like Stanbic?
Yeah, ideally, even if with their improving performance, you see that for the last 2 years they are giving out interim dividend and also a final dividend, which is actually has been affected their price. You see that since last year, their price has moved from about 22 shillings to now in the region of 39 to 40. So that is implying that people actually reacting to performance of the company. And you've seen other companies that have performed quite poorly, that their prices has also been nosediving in the direction of their financials. So I could say, we should expect better from Stanbic Bank, since it is the biggest bank by asset around here. We expect better than that. If they do better than that, we shall be happy. Since as the shareholder myself, I'll be getting a higher return than the 2.73%.
I think we were 2.6 then. I don't 26 rather.
26.
Yeah, and you told me you should buy, and said I think it's going to peak at this point, and it has kept growing now to 39.
Yes, because I personally, because I first invested in Stanbic Bank, it was around 33 shillings. Yes, and it went down. Now that it's in 39 and 40 regions, I'm a happy investor. You know, the stock market is about, you have to be patient with your stock. You have to watch your stock, and ideally look at reasons as to why that stock price is going down. Why is it going down? If you identify why it's going down, that's just because what most people don't understand, that prices are determined by demand and supply. So if there's a willing buyer and a willing seller, that will be the price of that market. And also, but don't let not anyone quote me that you just come with any price and sell. There is regulations in the market on what price should be traded at, 15% up or 15% down. That's the daily market regulation by the USE, that's the Uganda Securities Exchange. But remember, when there's financial information or there's information on the company, that rule is suspended. You can trade outside those brackets, depending. But if you want to come and trade at a certain price, there must be a willing buyer or seller for that particular price for it to be a market price. Yes.
Finally, women.
Yes.
The concession is expiring, but we see activity still continuing to grow, and also the price now at 435. I don't know if that is the highest so far, but
you've seen it at 444?
435 now.
445, we've seen it higher.
445, okay.
Yes.
So, do you think, how far are we going to go with this? Because we are certain the concession is getting expired or getting done, but still activities keeps on going, and Umeme has also been very strong on dividends as well. What is your opinion on this?
I could say Umeme is one of the best stocks in East Africa. Yeah. And since it's
even in Kenyan,
if you see it as it's a utility company, and we use power, we are using power currently. Use power, everyone uses power.
That's true.
So we expect a lot of money being made. And now that the concession is ending in March next year, yeah. Remember now, previous AGM, the Mr. Celestino Babuji said they are not investing much in the grid, but giving back more to the investor. To the shareholders, who are, to me, they're investors, but they are shareholders of the company, the owners of the business. So we expect much more being given out to them, simply because it's not being invested elsewhere, since they are now recouping investment. And now that, if you, from the last call we had facts behind figures when they released their financials, it was mentioned that currently we are looking at a buyout price of 500 and so. So if you are looking at a price higher than 500 or 500 and in that region of 500 shillings per share, and current is at 434, then why not buy into the business? Because even if you buy it at, because some of us bought it at 165 last year, and the NF price now is good for us to sell at. So if you didn't enter at 165, current is also still good for you, although it's a little expensive compared to where we had recommended you to buy, because we have a flash note recommending people to buy Umeme. Yeah. So if you currently at 435 or 34, it is good price still, since we are looking at a buyout in the region of 500 shillings. So it is still good.
According to their prospectus, what is in there for the shareholders at the end of the concession? Are they going to be how is it going to be the sharing of those? The value of the company. How is it going to be? Because I'm told there could be at least a 600 shillings per share for every shareholder at the end of the concession. All the people are holding on to the stock. Is that true?
I wouldn't commit myself saying it will be 600 because an audit is going on because it's government buying out the company. So that price, as I said at the AGM, the CEO, Mr. Celestino said it is above 500 shillings. So if you have information that it will be 600, maybe it can be 600. It can be 700, depending on what the Auditor General comes out and tells us it will be. Yeah. But Umume is a buy. It's a buy. The dividends are good. At interim, they're giving out 26. Last year we saw them giving out about 78%. Not 78 shillings per share. So if this year they're coming out for a final dividend of 100 shillings, it will be good for the shareholder. And by March, because how will it be handled? Every shareholder will be paid out. So I believe the same way you receive your dividends is the manner in which you are going to receive that buyout price. Yes.
Amazing. Let's talk about the bond market now.
Yes.
Looking at the primary market activity, in the second quarter, Bank of Uganda only issued about 2.9 trillion in treasury bills and bonds, which was 2.78% less from the 4 trillion in the first quarter. The rejection of bids perceived as too expensive was a contributing factor to the decline of these debt issuances. Is this something to worry about? Because we have so many investors who have been looking at the bond market currently, because when you look at this year's national budget for the country, much of the borrowing is going to be done locally. We don't have much foreign borrowing that's going to be happening. So is this something to worry about, that there was actually a decline, or it was just because this was in the past financial year?
No, borrowing is even an individual level. You don't take expensive money. Yeah, you don't take expensive money. So, in any given auction, the central bank will always reject some money. Yeah, in my experience, I've not seen where the central bank comes and takes all the money, unless it is all cheap money. If it so happens that say the central bank has taken all the money, then they got a good deal, or the government is really in need of money. Yeah, so it shouldn't be a worry, because the government borrows every 2 weeks. So if they're borrowing every 2 weeks, if in one fortnight they've not taken all the money the public has sent in, it shouldn't cause worry in any case.
Then when you look at the yields in the primary market, they also went upwards almost on all the tenors. We have about 13.8% for the 2-year, 15.5% for the 3-year and 5-year, and 17% for the 20-year treasury bond. This sounds too good to be true. I don't know if this has been actually what you've witnessed at the fixed income market as well.
Yeah, because if you look at our inflation is tamed, it's not as bad as what is in our neighboring countries. It is good. So government has liberty to borrow, and for me to give you my money for 20 years, you should be able to give me a good return on that. So for the central bank to attract this money, it must give a good return. So, and you have seen even on the side of the treasury bills, the 91 is about 9%, the 6 months about 12%, and the 1 year is about 13%. So all the rates are doing well. So back then, remember in COVID, these rates were as low as 7. Yeah, as the central bank was kickstarting the economy. Now that there's a lot of maybe the central bank is saying that there's a lot of disposable income in the market, they want to pull back that money, and that they continue taming the inflation below the target of 5%. So for me, the bond market is growing. It has been growing for the past 5 years, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that people are now investing. And with that, if we are borrowing locally, we have control on what we can pay, other than maybe borrowing on the dollar, borrowing that may go up. Like Kenya had a euro bond, and since the dollar went high, they have been suffering with that debt. But I'm happy that they have paid it out. But since we are borrowing locally, we have control on the shilling. If the government fails to get that money through taxation and on that, they can print money and give us.
So
You have control on that.
Talk about the secondary market activity here.
Yes.
We've had, on an annualized basis, the turnover of the secondary market grew by 8.5% from 15.6 from 15.3 trillion. And it's something I always question, how the secondary market activity can actually be increased when we still have so many players like the dealers, the stock exchange, brokers. Shouldn't it be left to, let's say, the exchange alone in order to be able to be accessible? Or it's better the way it is? Do you want the status quo to be maintained?
There's a plan to merge the CSD and SCD. That everything is listed on the exchange, but that's an ongoing thing. As and when the central bank and the Uganda Stock Exchange merge those two, it will happen. But basically, as you said, you've seen a reduction. Whenever you see that central bank didn't pick most of the money in the auction, then you see that there will be activity on the secondary market sinfully, because those who missed out in the auction will have to come and pick from the secondary market. And since in the secondary market, I as a PD am making business, yes, I'll sell. We shall see activity in the secondary market. No one is buying to hold unless the rates are too good that everyone is saying, I will not sell my paper. Yes, so we shall always see the secondary market activity.
Corporate bonds, do we have anything? We still have.
We've had about three papers in the Uganda. We've had the Kakira bond. We've had an EDB bond, and I think Housing Finance had a paper of about 30 billion shillings. And if there's any coming, when it comes out, I'll have to let the public know, because you know the market is one thing that whenever there is any activity in the market, we always inform. Yes, we always inform. And if it comes through, we shall inform them, the interested parties to come and partake of the corporate bond. And if there's any company out there that is looking into sourcing money, actually, because most people want to source money through maybe getting a loan, but you can also come to the market and source. And it could actually be a cheaper option to source from the market. Yes. Amazing.
Your parting shots, Mr. Bateme, as we wind up, your message to the clients you have and, of course, our probably potential new investors who are watching the show.
As I usually say, if you are to invest in the stock market, get the right information, go to the right people. Yes, because I know I've recently saw UMRA, that's the Uganda Microfinance Authority, listing all the illegal people who are giving out loans, and they are published those apps. So if you want to know the people who actually help you invest in the markets, go to the CMA website and look at the list. There are only five entities. No, if it's not Credit Capital, SBG, Dan Blair, UAP, or Cheaper Cash, that person is cheating you. And invest in what you understand. If you don't understand anything, I sit at Impala House, just off the City Hall. Come there, it's free of charge. Our consultation is free. You come and talk to us. Yes, come on. Currently, it is free. You come and talk to us, and we shall help.
When it's still early, when it's still free.
We help you invest. And investment in the market is not a one-off, unless you have 1 billion shillings or 2 billion shillings that you come in the market and flood it there, and your returns are good. But if you are looking at growing your portfolio, invest often. Yes, don't just come and put in 100,000. The market on the Ugandan side alone is about 11 trillion. So if you bring your investment of 100,000, it is way too small for you to get a good return on it. Be it in the stock market, be it in the bond market. You have to actually come in and put in good money. If you can't, I usually tell people that if you are to buy a stock, identify the stock, yes, identify the business you want to invest in, that's the stock, and come and continuously buy into that stock with guidance from the stockbroker. And that you accumulate, that your dividend is always improving. But you will keep having the same complaint that dividend is small because your shares are not growing. And shares, because there's a client who, some clients ask us that, how come my shares have not grown? You have to grow your shares by buying more. No one is going to give you free shares. Because people will say that, but Baroda gave us shares. No, actually that was your money. Yes, that money was taken off from your equity statement. Yes, was part of part of the profitability that Bank of Baroda has been making over the years, that they cut off part of it and transferred into equity and gave it to you as a dividend. Yes? So invest in what you understand and trade often. That will be my parting shot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bateme, Calvin, David, and we are very honored to always have you here.
Thank you for having me.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bateme is from Crested Capital. You can visit them at Impala House, I think the first level, right?
Yes.
And they will be able to help you and guide you for free for now, okay? So please run before the offer expires and get to learn more about how you can be able to help yourself out and make a return on that saving there. My name is Anthony. That was it from us tonight. I'll catch you next time. Have a good night. Bye for now.